Well, we did. We Thursday actually declared the state of emergency, and then Thursday afternoon gave the local government officials, the mayors, chairman of the board, the authority to declare mandatory evacuations, and we had about 150 to 200,000 under that mandatory local evacuation order in Norfolk and Portsmouth, Virginia Beach, Hampton, and other localities, and delighted that they did that. That was the right thing to do. It's all the low-lying areas, the coastal areas, Sandbridge, and other places, and it looked like from traffic on 64, people were doing that in a good and orderly fashion. And with looking at 6 to 12 inches of rain, 15 in some spots, a 3 to 6 foot storm surge, hurricane, tornado warnings. Now, that's certainly the right thing to do, and people complied pretty well.
Governor McDonnell, you've been working with FEMA, federal officials today. I know you've been in close contact with them over the last several days. Can you assess what we are going to need at this point, given the severity of this storm?
Yeah, we have pre-positioned any number of supplies. We've called up the National Guard. We have extra state police out in the Hampton Roads and Eastern Shore area. There have been generators and any number of things pre-positioned as well, chainsaw crews, VDOT personnel. We've got 40 people from FEMA right here where I am in the Richmond Operations Center. We've talked yesterday to the President, Secretary Napolitano, who pledged their help. Yesterday, actually, I was delighted the President agreed to my request to declare an emergency, a federal declaration, which gets them to assist us in disaster relief efforts. The federal government's been a great partner, but our local governments really have been on the front lines making great decisions, and they're doing very well today.
Are you seeing any specific problem areas right now in Hampton Roads from where you are, Governor?
No, we're not. We've looked at the VDOT cameras, and people are heeding our call to stay off the roads. There's been minor reports of standing water in the roads and trees being down, but as you know, and people really need to know this, we've closed the Midtown Tunnel, we've closed the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel. The Bay Bridge Tunnel is in the process of being closed, and some of those will be closed until sometime tomorrow. Midtown Tunnel maybe till tomorrow night. So people need to know that those major arteries will not be available because they're too dangerous because of the winds and the flooding. But overall, people seem to be doing exactly what they're supposed to. I talked to Mayor Sessoms this morning, and the Virginia Beach EOC is doing well. But the worst of this is still to come. People need to know just because it's downgraded to 85 miles an hour, there are very dangerous hours still to come with tornado warnings and heavy rains and flooding potential of great significance.
Governor McDonnell, that brings us to another question, realizing that the storm hasn't even really completely gotten to us at this point. What are we doing right now to keep in contact with people to make sure that people realize that, you know, this is an emergency, stay safe? You know, how are you at this point trying to ask them to heed that warning?
Well, this call and many others like it is what we need to do, and I appreciate you having me on because right now it's important for people that have power to watch their TV, and if they've got batteries, listen to the radio to make sure they're following the most recent track and looking at tornado warnings and other things that might occur, and also to go to www.vaemergency.gov, and right there they can find out everything from shelters. We have nearly 100,000 capacity shelter set up. Capacity shelters set up around the state. There are ample places to go all over Hampton Roads, and if people will just make sure they're personally informed and then be good neighbors. If they see something going on that needs help, call 911 for legitimate emergencies and call their local non-emergency numbers available on that website if they need help for something else.
Governor McDonnell, regarding the power situation, Dominion Virginia Power, I think, reports 114,000 customers at this point without power, and Irene is going to make a major impact up and down the East Coast in terms of people losing electricity. So how are we coordinating the response when this storm finally blows out and it's safe to go out and work on those lines? Are we going to need a lot of help from other crews out of state, and what is your role in trying to get that all together?
We've been in constant contact with Dominion. They're actually here in the Operations Center. They're in Virginia Beach at the Operations Center. I went to Virginia Beach, Norfolk, and Hampton yesterday, and they are regularly in touch with Dominion and the other co-ops that serve the region. We're expecting far more than the 114,000 or so reported now. It's actually about 150 as of noon. And the problem is, of course, is North Carolina and Maryland and other neighboring states are going to have their own problems. So we'll have to have people from other places if we need extra capacity. Dominion's already planning on that. I've gotten personal calls from Governor Perry in Texas, Governor Scott in Florida, and others saying, hey, we're here to help you. Let us know what you need. So they're going to do the best they can, but I have to say for our residents, they need to know that despite the great efforts of these power companies who will be out even during the storm, that it may take days to restore all of the power, or longer, depending on how many outages we have, and people need to be patient. They need to help one another, be good neighbors. Hopefully they've got ice, or they can buy ice after the storms, and do everything they can to be self-sufficient. But again, if they have legitimate emergencies, 911, non-emergencies, call 211 and we can help.
All right, call 211, and we want to continue to remind people of that. Call 211 for non-emergencies right now, which is a good thing to know. Do you expect that you may, because right now you're in Richmond, do you expect that you may be having to come back to Hampton Roads in the next couple of days to assess damage?
Well, absolutely. I'm planning either late tomorrow or Monday to be down there. We certainly expect those coastal areas in Hampton Roads and up to the northern neck, and then of course the eastern shore, to sustain the worst impact. I mean, Alveda, we're expecting some areas to have 20 hours or more of tropical storm force winds, and anywhere from 5 to 7 hours of sustained hurricane force winds, with again maybe 10 inches or more of rainfall. That's going to cause tremendous damage, and so we're going to be down there and see what we can do. We've got great state resources. The president agreed yesterday to issue the emergency declaration at my request, which triggers a lot of FEMA help and resources. 40 FEMA officers are here in Richmond with me now, and the local government folks, Mayor Frey, Mayor Sessoms, and others, Mayor Ward, who I saw yesterday, all doing a great job making good calls. And our state and local police and National Guard are coordinating very well. But I'll be down there very soon.
All right, thank you, Governor Bob McDonnell, for taking time, which is a busy day for everybody involved, for talking to us here